Good morning on another horrible day, but as predicted, I didn't do anything yesterday. What with having to drop the cat off, wait around, pick the cat up, come home and do some other stuff, I didn't have no time to do anything down here. But this is what 40 quid gets you from Lidl's. I got two 400mm clamps, so that is that. And one thing I did notice, the price jump from anything that's 300 to 400 is quite a lot, like them speed clamps. I think the 300mm one was £4.95. The 400mm one was £12.95. That's quite a big jump. Anyway, I've got them two. I've got two packs of 2-inch big spring clips. That I've got a can of grey primer, can of red, can of yellow, and a can of blue. And whilst I was mooching around, I found out they had a timber part, so I bought, let's see if I can get that in, 4 pieces of timber like that for the princely sum of £2.80. How's that with plain square ridge timber? £2.80 for 4 pieces, and it's a pity I haven't got a table saw, otherwise I could rip that straight down the middle and they'd be big enough to batten out things with. But yeah, I didn't think that was bad for 40 quid. These rattle cans, there's a price, £2.50 each. So it was a tenner for them 4. These spring clamps, £3.95 each. Where can I put them? Put them there for now till I open them. And the big 400mm clamps were, I don't know whether you can see that, let's see if it's better on the other way. Yeah, they were £9.95 each. You can see that. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that lot for 40 quid. And right, let's get to putting that stuff away and getting back to what I was doing. I've just dry fitted it before gluing, just to make sure everything Looks alright. What I'm a bit worried about though is because the finger joints are tight, the amount of time it's going to take me, but with PVA normal wood glue that shouldn't be a problem. What might be a problem is the gap along there. Now I have got some other Gorilla Glue that's brown in colour, and it's a foaming glue, so it's like a gap filling. So I think I'll go and try and find that, and I'll use that on that side, and I'll just use normal glue on that side. I think I'll just glue the sides in first. I'll put the front and back in just for support to make sure it's vertical, but then I can clamp the two sides. When that's dry, take the front and back off, glue that up and clamp that. Now if I had 4 clamps, I'll be able to do it all together, but I haven't, so okey cokey. I'm sure I've got some other bloody clamps, but I don't know. In the meantime, I've just cut another small box on the laser, but in the software I changed the kerf to see whether that makes any difference on how tight or loose the finger joints are. So we'll see how that comes out in a minute. Well, this is the little box out of the cutter, so we'll see what the finger joints are like. Oh, they are much looser, maybe a little bit too loose. Because they wobble about all over the place. That ain't right. Maybe I'll get the right bit in a minute. There it is. Yeah, they are very loose. As can be seen, it's falling apart everywhere. Yeah, they are very, very loose. That was a kerf of 0.009. So I reckon 0.0095. I'll try that next, because the original one that's very, very tight was 0.1, I think. So I had to go down to 0.00. 0.00 to make it looser, but I'll try 9.5 because the other one just holds together and that one just falls apart. I was going to go and look for that glue and have a cup of coffee, but the heavens opened and I would have got drenched, so I thought I'd muck about just testing some engraving. Up what? Yeah, I don't know, but the line engraving is coming out pretty good, but the fill engraving is burning a little bit. I don't know whether you can see that, just around the edges, slightly dark, so I might do another test with that and just take the power down. I've just lowered the power from 40% to 30%, and I think that's come out a lot better. Not much lighter, so, but it's, yeah, that's a lot better. Must remember that 30. And I've also just cut a little bit of foam, which I might stick in the back there just to deaden the sound a little bit coming off of the front speakers, and I might put a couple of little strips down the side and on the top just to deaden it a little bit. Yeah, right, I am gonna have a cup of coffee now and try and find that glue. Okay, that's me cup of mud had. Also, I noticed there was an Amazon delivery coming, so I waited for that, fed the cat and emptied my bladder, and I also found the glue, so that's ready to go. I also found, while I was looking for the glue, some super spray adhesive that should take care of sticking the foam. Then I'm going to put that over there, and the Amazon delivery was 10 pieces of 1mm acrylic sheet, which I thought might come in handy for stencils. Just take that off. Now, I've been trying to find out whether you leave a protective film on or you take the protective film off, because it's very mirrored if you take it off, and they advise against engraving mirrored surfaces because it bounces the laser around. So I'm going to have to do a few experiments on one piece of that. I also altered that small box profile in the software to what I said, a 0.0095 curve, and we'll try that out as well. This ain't going to work out, is it? You ain't going in, are you? Okay, you fall out, but you won't go back in, is it? Right, well that can go with me laser stuff, and I'll play with that a bit later. Just a quickie on that new cut, because they only take a couple of minutes to do. Let's see what the curve is like on that. That's still a bit loose. Which isn't ideal, so maybe I'll just leave it at 0.1 or whatever, or I'll that was 0.00095. To make it bigger, 0.000.98. I'll try that next. I'm going to end up with a load of these little bloody boxes everywhere. Never mind, I've got the other one just gluing up over here. Made an absolute balls of that gluing. It's everywhere inside. Don't know if you can see that, but yeah, I think I can unclamp that now. It's been on there a couple of hours. Yeah, I'll have loads of these. Never mind, they can be my little Oldham cotton buds or something. Good idea, that'll do. Okay, there's the box clamped up with the two sides. I'll do the front and the back tomorrow, and you can see what that glue does. See the way it's foamed up? If there's any of that on the outside, that can just be chiselled off, but it's a very, very strong glue. And now the other, I experimented with that acrylic, and you can sort of see it's come out not too bad, but getting the protective film off was an absolute nightmare. It took me about 15 minutes to pick all the bits off, which is not ideal, but as you can see, it is quite a shiny acrylic. Now, I've searched the internet and I cannot find a definitive answer whether I can cut that without damaging my laser if I take the film off, so it's got a mirror finish like that. If anyone knows for sure if I can cut that without the protective film, let me know in the comments. I've got a Creality Falcon A1 10 watt diode, by the way, but I would be grateful if someone does know if you can cut that without the protective film on and it doesn't damage the laser. And that's about it for today, so we'll see what tomorrow brings.